Hi folks, I'm Dr. Matthew Hale, and welcome back to Digital Pedagogy, where we discuss new media, digital rhetoric, pop culture, and this semester especially, public speaking. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and I really mean this, if you have any questions about outlining or public speaking in general, leave a comment or a question, and I'll try to help however I can, whether you're one of my students or not. Alright, so in today's video, I'm going to tell you how to write a speech outline. So let's just get this out there in the open. Outlining is not exciting, nor is it fun. But it's absolutely vital that you do not skip this step when you're crafting a message that you intend to deliver to a public. An outline is the foundation upon which you can build your speech, whether it's a self-introduction, a film review, or argumentation. It doesn't really matter. The outline is about externalization and organization. It gets your ideas outside of your head and into the world where you, and importantly others, can see your entire message as an organized strip of communication that has purposeful design and intent. And as with any design thing, it can be revised and expanded, tightened, or refocused. Getting your ideas outside of your head allows you to work iteratively. So a good speech needs structure. It can be a loose structure, but it needs organization. So let's break this down into its component parts. Your speech ideally ought to be made up of 5 parts: an opening, a premise, the body, a recap, and a conclusion. And between those major structures, you'll want to have transitions where you move the audience along with you through your message. Now let's drill down a little deeper into each of those parts. So first thing, you'll have an opening. You could open with a so-called attention getter, a powerful or relatable anecdote, statistics, a joke. You could be bombastic or ask a philosophical question. Whatever you do, make sure that it's appropriate for the context, audience, and goals of the speech. For me, I don't like attention getters all that much. They can feel forced or overly performative or even a bit cringy, but do whatever fits the speech genre that you're enacting and best helps you convey your message. After that, you also absolutely ought to have a clear premise or thesis or central idea. Basically, you need to have a goal or a reason for speaking, and that reason for speaking needs to be something more than,
my professor or my boss is making me do this.
It might seem too on the nose, but I often suggest to my students just to literally tell your audience what it is that you're going to argue or try to achieve in your speech. It could go something like this. In today's speech, I'll argue that, then say what you're going to argue. Or in today's speech, I'm going to inform you about topic X, Y, or Z. If you didn't notice, I did that at the start of this video. Roll the clip. All right, so in today's video, I'm going to tell you how to write a speech outline. See, if you watch this entire video and then someone asks you what it was about, you might not remember every single detail in the video, but I'd wager that you would probably remember the central purpose of it because I explicitly told you at the beginning and I'm going to remind you at the end. So that covers the opening and your thesis statement. Next, there's the body of the speech, aka the big part. It might contain 1, 2, or oftentimes 3 main points, as well as a number of subpoints. All of your points and subpoints need to support your premise. If it doesn't forward your argument, cut it. If you have a 4th point that doesn't exactly help you inform your audience about whatever topic that you've chosen, get rid of it. When you're drafting your outline, throw a bunch of ideas down onto a page, see what sticks, stress test each idea, and only keep what forwards the message that you're trying to tell. For each point, try to be clear, be explicit. Remember, be kind to your audience. You shouldn't be crafting a message just to sound smart or to dismay your enemies. You don't want to be needlessly verbose or pretentious like people who use the word verbose. The goal here is to communicate and have your message be understood and maybe even have an impact. After the body, recap. Remind your audience of your thesis and your main points which support it. And finally, conclude. We're just about wrapped up here. See, I'm concluding. But before I do, let me pass along this useful mnemonic device that someone at some point in my life in education told me. So let's reframe or repackage the introduction, premise, body, recap, and conclusion as groups of 3 functions rather than 5 individual parts. The mnemonic goes something like this. When you're making a speech, you need to first say what you're going to say. Say it, and then say what you said. Those are the 3 parts of a successful speech. In other words, in the intro thesis section, your goal is to tell people what you're going to say. In the body, you say it. And in the recap and conclusion, you remind your audience what it was that you said. All right, there's definitely more that could be said about outlining, but we're going to leave it at that for today. Hopefully this video helps you to craft an outline for whatever speech that you're working on at the moment. Please don't forget to like, leave a comment, or ask a question if you have any, and do subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And take care. Bye.